Abandonment is one of the hardest things to move through on the twin flame journey because it feels very much real. It brings up really hard feelings. And so know that if that is something you're working through, you absolutely can heal abandonment and come into a complete commitment with yourself, with your divine creator, with your twin flame. And I'm going to share with you how I did that and how I encourage you to do the same. Because when you do that, you will find that you are going to have so many beautiful things come into your life when you can fill that space and that fear of abandonment with unconditional love. Welcome back, everyone, to my channel, Faith, Love, Peace, and Divine Union. Peace, Love, Faith, and Divine Union. I know the name of my channel. It's been a long day. I'm Kanisha. It's so good to see you guys again. And I wanted to speak on this because this is something that a lot of my clients work through, which is just this fear of abandonment. I actually find that people still work through this even in union. I know that I personally had to. And so there's been many times where I found myself just distraught and falling apart when I felt like my twin flame had left me or they were nowhere to be found. And isn't this supposed to be my twin flame? So why is he leaving me? And I would spiral. I would watch twin flame card readings or just tarot readings all the time. I was obsessive. I was hoping and wishing and writing out really long texts for unknown reasons. And now me and my twin flame laugh about it because he's like, do you remember when you used to write me books about like how you felt and all these different things? And now we don't have to do that because we live in the same home. But know that sometimes you just are going to have to move through those really uncomfortable, hard feelings because your twin flame is your perfect mirror. And they're going to mirror back these aspects of you that believe in abandonment, that believe that love is not real or that it can be taken from you. And when this happened, it really like cracked me right open when I realized that my twin flame wasn't abandoning me, that I was actually abandoning myself. And I got clear on that by using the mirror exercise. And so I'm going to first start off with sharing how to do that using the mirror exercise. And then I'm going to go into a few reasons and topics about why twin flame separation is even a thing. I'm going to go through a little bit of what happens when you hit a breaking point. I'm going to talk about some myths about what feels like is like actually happening within your union, but what actually the truth is. And then I'm also going to talk about how to really start healing abandonment at the core and in truth why you were never abandoned. So definitely stay all the way to the end and let me help support you on healing this and coming into true commitment with yourself and with your twin flame. So the first thing was, again, the mirror exercise. And I wrote this out. I don't know if you don't have a mirroring journal. For those of you who are new to my channel, I do use the mirror exercise. If you need support of what that is, definitely comment below needing the mirror exercise and I'll send it to you. But I have a whole notebook here of just mirror exercises. I'm on the wrong side. Like all of this is all mirroring. Like I just spend hours mirroring sometimes. And I really do that because I find that when I can write it out, I can get out of the story and I can really get clear on what my twin flame is mirroring to me because they are your perfect mirror. There is nothing, I hope you hear me when I say this, there is nothing they can do that you're not already doing or entertaining or believing within yourself. So I started out with, I'm upset with my twin flame because I feel like he's abandoning me and it makes me feel scared and alone. And so that is step one. Step two would be turning all the nouns around and facing them towards you, becoming pronouns. I'm upset with myself because I feel like I'm abandoning myself and I feel scared and alone. Step three is there any truth to that? Well, yes, I do feel like I'm abandoning either myself or being abandoned, and I do feel scared and alone. And so step four is asking that part of myself, what do I need here to feel loved? And I needed to let her know that I'm not going to abandon you. I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to choose you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to honor you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to hug you and nurture you and love you in all the ways that you deserve. And there's no need to feel scared because you are not alone. I am right here. And when I finally came to a place of peace with that and gave myself what I needed, I imagined her coming into my heart space and dissolving into my heart space and becoming one with me. And that part of me that felt separate from me, she became whole with me. And when I started to recognize, like, I can't be abandoned because one, God never created abandonment, God has never abandoned you. And you might experience the illusions of abandonment, but you can't be abandoned by anyone who hasn't claimed you. So I recommend going within and truly claiming all of yourself, choosing yourself, showing up for yourself, knowing that you don't need anyone outside of you to make you feel loved, to make you feel seen, appreciated, received. You can give all of those things to yourself right now. Now, the pain of separation, especially in twin flame union. First, separation is an illusion. We're just going to call it space. I realized when I started doing this and changing that thought in my mind and changing my perception about it, that I no longer started experiencing separation from my twin flame. We would just go periods of space, and then he would come back and he would usually give me the next piece of healing. We would do the healing, we would spend time together, and then space happened again. And during that time of space was the time that I was meant to go within and I was meant to be with God. And so if you're watching this, you're probably in the heartbreak stage. And I have so much compassion because I know how daunting that can feel. And I can feel like this is never coming to an end. But in truth, it will. If you continue doing the work and you continue loving yourself and healing those parts of you that is coming up to the surface to be released, you will experience union with your twin flame. And not only do I help you come into union with your twin flame, but I help you come into permanent harmonious union with your twin flame, where you don't have to experience separation again. So one, again, separation is illusion, but we entertain separation for a long period of time because we've just experienced it in the consciousness. And you can choose today to release all separation in your consciousness. I say something along the lines like, I choose to eradicate all separation consciousness within my consciousness. And once you start doing that, things are going to start coming to the surface that's either going to encourage you to choose love or you choose separation. Highly recommend choosing love. So if your twin flame came in like a lightning bolt and then all of a sudden they're gone and they disappear, they block you, they moved on, whatever it is, and they left you alone feeling just like, what did I do? I know that can feel very almost like whiplash. And then it gets to the point where you're doing things like checking angel numbers and you're scrolling endlessly through TikToks, trying to figure out when they're coming back or what did you do, or the worst, you're watching dating advice of worldly dating coaches and not really seeking support from actual twin flame coaches. And even then, you got to be careful some of the twin flame coaches because they tend to speak a lot of separation. So when you try to heal so quickly because you're feeling so much pain and you don't want to, you got to really ask yourself, what is it that they're bringing up in me in order to actually heal it at the core? And I find that when you do this, a lot of us will start to see, oh, I'm trying to earn their love. I'm trying to learn or see that I only believe that I'm lovable if I'm receiving love from them, or I'm only valuable if they're giving me their attention. And that is not how you want to move through your life. So for me, my breaking point one day was just trying so hard to prove my love to my twin flame that I was like, I'm so tired of this. Like, if he can't see my value and my worth, why am I even doing this? And that's when I heard my higher self be like, well, you were never abandoned. You just left yourself and you kept trying to get love from him instead of getting love from me. And I was just like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So I made a choice to stop doing that. And when I really stopped doing that and grounded into that choice, Guess who started reaching out more? Guess who wanted to go out to dinner? Guess who wanted to just call and see how I was doing? And that truth, when I started to realize that that's all it was, like, shattered me, because I was like, I had the power this whole time. By not abandoning myself and showing up for myself, he was gonna not give me the illusion of abandonment and show up for me. Like, wow. So every time I realized I was begging for his love, I was ultimately just ignoring myself, because I was looking for love outside of myself instead of giving that to myself. And so I started turning inward, and I started talking to myself, and I started telling myself how much I mattered, how much I loved me, how much I was going to forgive me for all the times I was looking for love outside of myself. And slowly it started to shift. It really did. And when I let go of how long it was going to take, and I just trusted that it was going to turn around, I want to say my union like turned and shifted within a month. But I had to ground into that new way of thinking and that new way of being. So I do want to touch on the myths that might be hurting you through your twin flame journey. And this is something that's very, I just see this a lot through the twin flame community, of like the toxicity about twin flames. Now, if your twin flame is being toxic to you, and I'm talking like there's a different level of toxicity. So if they're like being like verbally or physically abusive with you, we do not entertain that, okay? We walk away from that. You do not need to go through that. But if they're showing you things like not responding to you, or maybe ghosting you, or maybe just doing something that's just like, I wouldn't do that to someone, so why are they doing that to me? Well, then they're showing you that there are places where you might still be holding on to toxic habits. And this is where I find that a lot of people get very triggered, because they're like, well, I'm not toxic. And I'm just like, okay, like that's all right. Like if you don't want to look at it that way, I'm not going to tell you that you're toxic. But every person that I met has some type of toxic tendency, okay? And it could be that you're being toxic with yourself on some level. You could be talking to yourself rudely in your mind. You could be degrading yourself on some way. You could be telling yourself, oh, you're not good enough, or you need to lose weight, and if you were prettier than this, blah, 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 blah. That's toxic, y'all. So it doesn't have to be super negative, but if you're not seeing your worth and your value, and you're not respecting yourself and honoring yourself, you're holding on to some toxic habits there, okay? So your twin flame is going to show you when you need to fully heal in certain places. And the other thing I hear is that you have to be fully healed in order to come in union. That's a lie. You don't have to be fully healed to come into union. I'm in union and I still got a lot of things to heal. However, you get to this threshold where you've healed enough, and then you've healed enough for them to just be in your space and it be comfortable. The other myth I've heard is that union might not happen in this lifetime. Let me tell you, if you're watching this video, union is going to happen for you in this lifetime. Don't let anyone tell you that. That's a limiting belief. It's so stupid. Like, no, God is not going to bring you to the understanding of twin flames and desiring your twin flame for you to not have your twin flame. Like that, none of that makes sense, okay? So I move through this a little bit where I'm like, I am the only one who doesn't have a twin flame, because my twin flame is nowhere to be found. Well, now he's in the living room. So know that, that they exist. They're here. And I see it and I hear it. It's the most common one that I hear. Like, people may not come into union this lifetime. They're not meant to. It's the biggest crock of BS that I've ever heard. Do not take that as your truth. I beg you, do not take that on as your belief or your truth. You would not be led here. Your consciousness would not bring you here if you weren't meant to have that, okay? So let that go and just choose in your heart to truly and fully claim your harmonious union. And that right there is going to already start the attraction process, okay? So the truths are, this belief comes from this cycle of unworthiness. And as you heal your unworthiness, you will find that you're worthy of all of the amazing things in your life. So the truth is, you don't have to be perfect in order to come into union, and you don't have to chase. And if you're here, and you desire your union, you can have union this lifetime. You just got to do the work. And a lot of times people just don't want to do the work. They don't see the value in being with their divine, perfect, ultimate lover. And I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around why they wouldn't see that. But it's not my life, it's theirs. So stop abandoning yourself. Love yourself first. Really put yourself as a priority. Take care of yourself. And that's when the shift happens. The key to union is not being with them. It's about being with yourself, because they are you. They are the perfect mirror of you. And it took me a long time to grasp this. So I'm hoping that I can help you not take a long time to grasp this, okay? So your healing starts now. Do the daily work, do the mirror exercise on a daily basis. I don't recommend digging for upsets. They will naturally come up for you. I also recommend writing it out. I recommend really focusing on things that bring you joy, things that really focus on taking care of your body and your health, and maybe working on taking care of your home and your life purpose. When you do your life purpose, that is so attractive to your twin flame, because they're meant to do your life purpose with you. So know that you were never abandoned, that if no one has told you yet, you are not crazy, you are not broken, you are not unlovable, and you were never abandoned. You were just experiencing an opportunity to come home to yourself, to give yourself what it is that you wished your twin flame would, or even your parents would. And I guarantee that all of your abandonment upsets stem from way before your twin flame, and it comes from childhood. So if you need support working through that, I will help you with that. And know that your union is right now. It's not in the future. It begins with you choosing yourself right now. And when you do that, you'll recognize that your twin flame has been with you this entire time. So if this has touched your heart, please definitely like and subscribe, share it with someone. And if you need support in your twin flame journey, I am offering 30-minute intro sessions to help see if twin flame coaching is the right thing for you right now. And if you're ready to change, if you're ready to go all in, if you're ready to invest in your union, and you're ready to have your union by the end of this year, it is possible, but you have to choose to do the work, and you have to choose to say yes. Then definitely check out my link below, my website. And I do have openings for one-on-one coaching, and I do have group coaching currently open too. So leave a comment below if you have any questions. I love you guys. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. Bye-bye.